I've been an instructor with MCC now for about a year and a half. It's been a great year. I've really enjoyed working with the students. It's been a passion of mine for a long time to be an instructor. Before I came to Metro, I was actually a shop foreman for a local truck dealership. I did that for several years. I really enjoyed the management role, being in that leadership position. I had a lot of opportunity being in that position to work with a lot of fresh technicians right out of school. So I got to help train them and shape them in their careers. That's what led me into being an instructor. I really looked for an opportunity and took advantage of this one. I've been able to take away a lot of experiences from my past positions that I held at the dealership. You know, starting out where I was actually an intern in the dealership I worked at in the past. So I was able to do entry-level jobs, and then I slowly built myself into multiple different positions with the company. So I started out as an intern. I worked my way into a technician, then I worked my way into a lead technician role. So then I was able to start doing a lot of the advanced diagnostic work and started moving in towards managing people. So that really, I feel, gives me a good edge with working with the students, because I've had so much variety in my personal experiences to be able to help them with multiple aspects of their career, of their education. And that's been one of the nice things I've really enjoyed working here. I was raised here actually in the Papillion-La Vista area. That's where I went to high school. I started working with vehicles, and I started out, you know, in the automotive industry, working with my father ever since I was about 8 years old, and worked with him in his shops, did different jobs with him. When I got into high school, I was exploring different career avenues, different things that I wanted to do with my life, and had no experience with diesel before this, you know, and before I actually chose the career. So I wanted to try to step out of my normal boundaries, try something new, and I ended up taking a tour actually of Southeast Community College. That's where I decided to pursue my degree with. And I worked towards my Associates of Applied Science in Diesel Technology in the truck degree, and that's where it led me to my internship at the dealership I worked with, and then worked my way from there. But the diesel industry has been great, and the nice thing about diesel is when the economy got slow and when there's recessions, we really never slowed down, because they use these vehicles to do a lot of type of work. And one of the biggest things, everything moves by truck, and there's no shortage of goods that need transported. I have a few people that have inspired me to become the person that I have, to become the instructor that I have. It started, you know, when I was about a junior in high school, junior and senior year. I had an English teacher. His name was Mr. Dishman, and he really saw something in me that I didn't see in myself at that time of my life. And he always was pushing me to become a better person, to always apply myself fully. He believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So I owe him a lot of credit, and he pushed me to always strive to become better, to, you know, shoot for the stars, aim high, and don't settle for anything that you don't want to. When I got into the shop, I had another mentor that I worked with as an intern. His name was Mike Anderson, and he was a master technician, a senior level technician, and just his overall knowledge of everything about the vehicles was just incredible. It really amazed me, and he invested a lot of his personal time into my education and my growth, and I would not be here today if it wasn't for him. So I owe him a big thank you, and I continuously tell him. When I was in my shop foreman role, I got to do a lot of work with the intern technicians. Most of the time, as we got an intern or somebody right out of school, they would get assigned to myself, and then I would actually mentor them for their first several months or several weeks while they were in the shop. That way they would get used to our procedures, our policies. I could teach them the ins and outs of how the vehicles worked, how to fix these systems, how to diagnose these, and really get them on their feet and going. And so I really found that quite rewarding when I would have a technician in that really knew little. He just had his basic training from school, and then all of a sudden, you know, he would just pick up, really start accelerating, do really well with all of his tasks, and next thing you know, he's working on his own, and then he's moving himself into a more of a senior level technician spot, achieving certifications in the industry. It really made me feel good. And so that was something I really started to enjoy, and I would have never really, 5 years ago, if you'd asked me if I would be an instructor for a college, I'd have probably said, no way. It was just something I never thought of. And once I moved into that foreman spot, I really discovered something that I never knew about in myself, the joy of teaching. So then, I was just reading the paper one day and I saw the advertisement for the diesel technology instructor position, and it was at a point in my life where I wanted to make a change for the better, and anytime I see an opportunity where I feel I could benefit myself or make myself a little bit better as a person, as a diesel technician, if I can contribute myself to the community, I really want to take advantage of that. So I figured I wanted to take my knowledge and spread it to as many people as I can, and really help a lot of people that aren't sure what they want to do with their lives or the direction they want to go, so I can help them build their life and their career at the same time. So that's what really I work hard to achieve. I landed at Metro. I was able to fill out the application and went through several interviews, and the position was offered to me, and no doubtedly I ended up taking the job. And so I was really excited to get in here to be able to see the curriculum and start helping with the design, the development, and really help strengthen the backbone of the program here. The high I get from my students, the teaching high you could say, is when they've come in, a fresh group of students that have really little to no experience, and actually watching them progress through the part of the quarter, their first quarter here, watching them move along and slowly starting to pick up on everything to where, I start asking them questions and they start responding back to me and teaching me things that I didn't know perhaps. Because they're going out, they're doing research on their own, they're really motivated, and by seeing them so motivated and determined in what they're doing, that really makes me feel good as an instructor, because I'm helping them be motivated about this career. I'm the one that's their first point of contact to excite them about what they're going to be doing for possibly the rest of their lives. And so just seeing that light bulb turn on, seeing somebody that had little knowledge of this, being able to show other students how to fix that too, using what I've taught them to help others. And that's what a big advantage of this is for me. It makes me feel really good, and I'm happy to be able to share my knowledge. I'd say the greatest challenge is taking a lot of different background of students, because I get some students that have had quite a bit of mechanical work experience. Say they've worked in the shop, or they come out of the military where they've been a technician for several years. And so, or I get the type of student that just says, hey, I've been doing construction work for 4 years, I want to become a technician. Or, we even get some guys that come from a psychology background that say, hey, I want to be a technician. So it's one of the challenges is getting my information across to everybody, to have them all on the same page, no matter what their skill level might be. So I always have to focus on how am I going to benefit this student, how am I going to benefit this student, and this one. So it's constantly changing too, every quarter. So I always have to make sure that I'm up on my knowledge and up on current technology. That way I can make sure all students are being taught the best information they can to make them most beneficial to our local employers and to help themselves progress into the field. If I could have students remember one thing about me, what I'd like them to remember is just my honesty towards them, my dedication and time and my effort that I've spent to help them become what they are, and just the knowledge that I've shared with them. I want them to understand that I've shared everything that I possibly could, give them the best truthful information, and set them up for a good career in this industry. I have a lot of advice, a lot of different quotes that I do read and look into from time to time, inspirational things. And there's a lot of different ones, but when I look for quotes, I like to look for stuff that has to do with success, and really never stop educating yourself. Success is a lifelong thing. You always have to keep working and wanting to better yourself. And don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid to step outside the box and take chances. My name is Matthew Wagg. I'm a diesel technology instructor at the Applied Technology Center for Metropolitan Community College.